purpose of this interview today is to dispel a myth that we commonly hear about the Starrag Group and about your products. Engineers and machinists look at them and we'll talk about some of the technical features, but they think they're too expensive. Is that the case?
Well, you're right. That's what most people think, and most people think they need $1 million to even talk to us, and it absolutely is incorrect.
So let's start with the price. A bit out of turn for how we normally do these things, but where do the costs, or what does the price start of a machine that would be, say, fit for purpose for general purpose machining?
Well, very much depends on the spec, but people don't realise they can invest in a machine from us for as little as 300,000.
300,000. So that takes you into a league where a lot of machines, and certainly in a lot of instances, wouldn't carry the same kind of technical characteristics that yours do.
Well, they do, because a lot of what we spoke about today is standard on these machines, even at entry level. There are then other additional options, of course, but people just don't think of us and they don't call us because they think we're only an OEM supplier. And it's wrong. We've got some great subcontractors that use our equipment, and a lot of subcontractors who don't realise we're in there within their budgets.
So the message today is that the products that we're going to talk about or touch on from the Starrag Group are very, very affordable to all. The one behind us here, Lee, this is the Hecker X40. Would this be the type of machine that would come in at around that sort of price or that budget?
You'd pay a little bit more for this particular machine, but yeah, this range starts around the 300,000, and then it depends on the product we're manufacturing and the specification we end up with. But like I say, people don't call us because they don't think we'll fit their budgets, and that's wrong.
And what engineers will be correct about, Lee, is the quality of the product that your group offers. Can you maybe talk us through briefly some of the features that go into the build of your machines that others may not offer and that really do make them stand out across the range, even the lower cost machines?
Well, if you take aerospace as an industry, we've got soft and hard metals. We start with the spindle. The spindles are optimised power and torque for those material groups, and then we work backwards. We look at the forces and we build the machine around that. And because we build such an optimised machine for aerospace, it then works great in many other areas as well.
Okay, so that's the spindle. Is that your own spindle technology?
In a lot of cases, the spindle is manufactured and built by us. We do have some machines where we do buy the spindles in.
And how important is that in the life of the spindle, the features that you're talking about? Does it mean that they're going to last longer?
Well, it's critical that they perform to the optimum capabilities of the cutting tool, but then also, of course, they have to have a spindle life, an in-service life, and then we also have to be able to support them and exchange and repair and replace. So the most important thing for our customers is producing chips.
And when you produce chips, you need power and you need speed. Do these spindles that we're talking about and the ones that you manufacture give both ends of that scale?
Well, they do, because they're designed specifically for those material groups. So they're optimised, they're fastest, they're the most powerful. So your metal removal rate is higher than you would get on other similar machines in a lot of cases.
And we are talking here about affordability, or maybe let's say the lower cost end of the machine range. What would you specify as a spindle on a machine at that level of pricing? Would it be an HSK 100, an HSK 63? What sort of spindle technology would you incorporate?
Well, for aluminium machining, we have a hybrid HSK 63 with 80 flange. For hard metal, we would usually go HSK 100. A 63 flange isn't strong enough to take the cuts that we can take on these machines. But
I suppose then then that's when the price of the machine may go up, depending on, like you say, the application or the technology you need to incorporate in that machine.
Yeah, and it depends on the spec. But if we look at a component and we look at the cycle time we can achieve on a machine like this, then the machine payback is very quick anyway. So the cost is insignificant. But to sell to subcontract market, we have to have the right cost level machine for them to even talk to us in the first place.
The second thing then, Lee, what about the table group on these machines? Give us some of the reasons why, again, these stand out.
Well, again, we're talking hard metals, so we're talking high cutting forces and high rigidity required. So if you compare the size of the table group on the image behind us to other machines, it's a big, robust system. And we can simultaneously mill, and we can even put a high-speed turning table on there for casings and round parts.
You mentioned to me then about this 300k figure starting point, which I'm sure will excite a lot of engineers. But you're quite right in saying as well, it isn't just about that outlay, what it costs. It's about actually what you can save and how much faster you can make the part, how much longer it lasts, how precise the components come off the machine, the surface finish. All of those aspects, give you a better, affordable solution, don't they?
Well, they do, and really all we should consider is the cost of the part, but of course people don't. They look at the cost of the asset. But if we can deliver a lower cost per part for longer on an asset that doesn't cost any more than any other asset, then it's a double win.
Absolutely, so there you have it. From the Starrag group, these machines, similar or like the Hecker X40, starting at 300k. Now you can afford one, can't you, Lee? Thank you.
We like to think so. Thank you.